Howdy boys, it's NPC, and today we're going to be going over how much money I think you're going to need for the upcoming Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC. Now just as a little disclaimer, this is just going to be for day one. I'm not going to include all of the drip feed vehicle prices. I mean, that's all information that's still up in the air, so we're just going to go over what we already know, what we currently have, and we'll go from there. So starting us off, we have the three cop cars, the Impaler, the Greenwood, and the Dorado. I think these are going to be priced a little more reasonably than the other cop cars, that being the undercover cop car, the LE Cruiser, and of course the Interceptor that was added. Those are more like standard issue to high-end vehicles. The Dorado, Impaler, and Greenwood are I don't think they're going to be as strong performance wise, so I think it's safe to give them a lower price, as well as the vehicle selection becoming a little more saturated for cop cars. I think the prices are going to be a little more reasonable. So starting us off, the Dorado, I think it's going to be put at $3.5 million. Just to give you guys some perspective, the undercover cop car is right around $4 million, and the LE Cruiser is closer to $5 million. And of course, the Interceptor is like over 5 million, 5.5, a little under 5.5. But then since we've gotten the Interceptor, I feel like not that the want for cop cars has gone down, but I feel like it's scratched our itch, so people don't want it as badly. So I think 3.5 million, still pretty expensive. The regular Dorado is 1.4 million, and I think it's kind of like right in the middle there. As for the Impaler, the Impaler and Greenwood are both cars that can be turned into lowriders. They're not great vehicles by default. In their cop variants, I expect them to be a little better, but not by that much. Like the undercover cop car and the LE Cruiser, they're pretty not very good vehicles. So I'm gonna give the Impaler a $3.3 million price and the Greenwood a $3.1 million price. Now moving on to our first non-cop vehicle, we have the new Bentley, which is usually classified under the Enos brand. And I'm going to say this one is 1.6 million if it doesn't have a Monty Tech, and 2.2 million if it does have a Monty Tech. That's because the Enos vehicles haven't been priced very high, which is, I think, a little strange because Bentley's it's a luxury brand in real life. The Paragon R is $900,000. It doesn't have a Monty Tech, but it's a good vehicle. And the Deity, which does have a Monty Tech, is $1,845,000. So this one being newer, I feel like they can, raise the bar a little bit, make it a little more expensive if they want, but I don't think it should be too far off of the other vehicles. Now moving on, we have our confirmed super sports car from the trailer, the one in yellow. That is the Envision 74. We're going to put that one at either $2.5 million or $3 million. I guess just to be on the safe side, let's say $3 million, because I don't want to be lowballing you guys. And my reasoning for that is because it's kind of futuristic looking. It looks newer. It could be an electric vehicle. And what was our last electric vehicle sports car? It was the Panaud Licorius, which is one of the best sports cars in the entire game. That thing is a beast, and it is right around $3 million. So I think this one will be similar. I feel like it's already hard to top the Corius in performance, so I could see it being on a little bit of a lower end as well. That's why I gave the $2.5 million price tag, but just to be safe, let's say $3 million. Up next, we have the new Burrito, which is, it might be a business vehicle. Like generally, Rockstar will give us a business vehicle for free in order to help us with doing the new missions and stuff, doing whatever you need to do, completing the objectives. And I think it's gonna cost around $800,000 if you need to buy it. Otherwise, it'll be free. But let's just say it's $800,000 if it doesn't come with the business. And while we're on the topic of the business, let's give that a price as well. I'm gonna say that one is gonna be $2.5 million on the high end. Most of the businesses in the game are around that price range. On the higher end stuff, not including upgrades, that can add another, $1 million. So $3.5 million if you apply all the upgrades. Sorry, I skipped over one point as well. If you need to upgrade the vehicles as well, like the Burrito, I know for other businesses you can slap on some upgrades like extra armor or something of the sort. And generally there's 3 upgrades. Let's say that adds, and those are priced around like $100,000 to $150,000. Let's say that's an extra $450,000 to the Burrito in order to make it extra tanky, have extra utility functions. that sort of thing, bringing it to a total of 1.25 mil. Now for our next two vehicles, we have one on the artwork, which is a benefactor vehicle that we haven't seen the actual car model for. It wasn't in the trailer. That one, let's just say it's like $1.4 million, just because it doesn't look like anything crazy. It looks, you know, maybe a little bit older than some of the new benefactor vehicles. So I don't think it's going to be super expensive. And then lastly, the Pipistrello, which is confirmed, is going to come 1 week after the release date for non-GTA Plus members. And that one, I think, is going to be at $3 million. I feel like it could also maybe have a Monty Tech, just because they've been slapping a Monty Tech on everything lately, so I just feel like I have to make a guess there. But $3 million is probably a good price point. Most supercars lie in the, you know, $2 million to $3 million range. And then lastly, of course, is weapons and clothing. Normally I would probably skip over that because I don't think as many people care about that stuff as opposed to vehicles, but because this is like bounty hunting related and cop related, I feel like they could add some cool stuff. I think for weapons, they might add a new weapon. I feel like they've been adding a new weapon for the past few updates, and say it's around like 500,000, probably cheaper than that, maybe 300,000 or 400,000, but let's just say 500,000 since that's what the weapon from the last DLC was. And then for clothing, I feel like they could add some cool cop outfits, and that I think is going to be more popular than clothing that's added normally. And then clothing that is, you know, of that caliber, cooler costumes, you either might have to unlock it by completing like certain missions, like the Dax Fooligan jobs or something, but once you're able to buy them, my guess is 150k or 200k on the high end. I just feel like because I think cop outfits are still pretty limited in the game. So I think if they were to add more of those, the community would be very happy. And of course, if there's a limited supply of clothing of that style, they get to make higher demands. So our grand total for everything today on the high end, just to be safe, right? Because I don't want to be telling you guys like $10 million and then everything's like 30 million, you don't have enough. The grand total is about $23 million. And this is just for day one. If you want to buy every single thing that is possibly available to you on day one, around $23 million, which I think is fair, because I think what I had to spend on the Mercenaries DLC was around $12 million on the first day. It wasn't that much. And then on the Junkyard DLC, I ended up spending like 30 million. So I think this one is kind of right in between. Of course, you're going to need more money for the drip feed vehicles, but you'll have time to earn more. And yeah, that's about it. Be sure to drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Share your predictions in the comment section. Let me know how much money you guys think this DLC will cost, what you're planning on buying, what you're planning on skipping. I'm going to cover it all, of course, and that's about it. Until next time, take care. Peace.